Hi guys, Tom Bill McGrath here. I wanted to talk to you about some of the knives I'll be using at this year's PTI summer camp. Because we're focusing on outdoor survival, I want to talk to you about the outdoor knives I use. We're going to be teaching technique based on the use of these size knives. I'm going to start with my smallest carry knife. This is a Becker BK11. It's meant as a neck knife. I don't like to hang stuff like that around my neck. So this actually works as a pocket knife for me. I'll throw the loop around my belt and sit this down in the pocket. And it works as a very good little work knife for delicate work, cutting notches, cutting rope, cutting twine or whatnot. Any kind of small, delicate chores you would do around a camp. It also functions very well as a knife for clipping on some tertia techniques where you have a knife that's too small to really use in ice pick grip or a hammer grip. But what I'm doing these days in camping is really, at least in the summertime, kind of going with a three-blade concept, a small carry knife for doing delicate work, your day-to-day chores, and then two knives for wood processing. So we'll get into those in a minute. The knife that the early registers at the camp are going to get is this more clipper knife. It's a carbon steel blade, 4 inches long, rubberized, rubber texture kind of handle, and just a basic plastic sheath. You get these for like 15 bucks on the internet. This is a very popular knife in Europe for camping, since it's so lightweight. Some people carry this as a neck knife while camping. It has a Scandi grind, which means a flat grind. The edge comes right down to the bevel. There's no secondary bevel on it. It's very good grind for woodworking. So if you're cutting notches for traps and things like that, is a good grind type. My everyday carry knife for short day hikes or just around every day when I'm not full-scale camping is this Falcon of an S1 stainless steel blade. It's laminated harder. I believe it's S30 in the middle. Stainless steel, very good hard blade. Not as easy to sharpen as carbon steel, but if you have a diamond rod, it's not bad. I like this a lot. This is my everyday carry knife. I've used it a lot in steakhouses when they give me a dull knife. This works out very well. But if we're talking about camping now, what I really like these days is this Easy Knives RC4. This used to be Rat Cutlery. They had to change their name. Got in a dispute with their previous knife company partner. But anyway, this is 3/16 1095 carbon steel. A very well done micarta grip scales on this with 3 nice heavy-duty bolts in there. Nice finger choil, lets you choke up a bit for delicate work. There's some jimping here in the back for control with the thumb. Very good blade. They give you an excellent sheath with this. There's a couple of different carry options. This is just a basic sheath. But it's very well made, nice thick quality Kydex, drainage hole in the bottom. The pommel is exposed here if you need to break glass in an emergency or crack shells of some type, like on crabs or acorns or whatnot. Just a well thought out survival knife. These guys at Rat Cutlery or Easy now teach a survival course down in Peru. As you can see, their experience with that comes out. Now, for wood processing, you want something a little bigger. Excuse me. You can use either a Bowie, like this Brown & Companion, which starts thick, tapers down to thin for wood processing. This gives you the ability to, with the long reach, you can chop into side grain like a felling axe and shorten, cut down your wood, or cut it to length if you're obviously using dead wood for fire making. But when you're cutting the end grain, we're trying to split wood, you want a thick piece of steel. Much like a splitting wedge in an axe is different than a felling axe. You have a thick splitting wedge or a thin felling axe is different blade stock. So if you're going the side grain, you want to bite as deeply as possible and not really have resistance in the wood. When you're trying to split end grain and split the wood apart, you want a thick piece of steel. Now, if you have a steel that's all the way thick throughout its whole length, that gets pretty heavy to carry around. So that's why, if you don't have something like this and the Browning Companion is not made anymore, you might find a few of them on the left of the neck. What I've been using a lot lately is this K-Bar BK2, the companion knife. Quarter-inch stock, 5-inch blade, really splits wood nicely. The quarter-inch stock for thick pieces of log, say 5 inches and over, really seems to be the sweet spot that you need to split fairly large pieces of wood. You get thinner than that, and you're really talking about more thin diameter pieces. You're going to see a lot of people on the net who buy this knife, upgrade the sheath. It's an okay sheath, but not great, to a custom-made Kydex sheath. And a lot of times they'll go with a micarta grip, aftermarket micarta grip. The knife itself sells for like $65. By the time you get done paying for the custom sheath and the custom grip, micarta grip, you could go ahead and buy a Easy Knives RC5, or Rat Cutlery RC5. Comes with a beautiful micarta handle, very well done. I like how that mechanical stop here, which is very good. It doesn't rely on friction to hold on. It has a nice length for my size hands. I like a larger grip. This has it. Comes with a high quality, nice thick Kydex sheath. Excellent knife. It's coated with a special epoxy coating. I'm on two minds of these things. I'm not too happy with a epoxy coating on a food knife. So after I sharpen any knife that I have epoxy coating on, I really clean it well if I'm going to use that as a food knife. Probably won't use this because it's a second knife, but for food, but it's something to think about. So anyway, now we're going to go up to our large blades. Instead of, at least in the summertime, instead of a hatchet or an axe for camping, I like a machete. Not a huge one, a 12-inch machete. For cutting down your firewood, knocking off dead branches off the lower branches off pine, for processing wood into shorter lengths. A 12-inch machete works well. I like the barong shape. This is from Cold Steel. This is from Condor. It really has a nice sweet spot in the middle there for processing wood. And I like Philippine martial arts, so I want a Philippine-style blade. For American blades or South American blades, the Ontario 12-inch makes a very good knife, a very good machete, I mean. 1095 steel, holds up well, and the price is right on these. So that's my three-blade concept for camping. We'll show you in the morning outdoor survival skills with these knives, and then in the afternoon of the camp we'll do knife technique based on these size knives. Hope to see you at the camp. Take care.